Como é que é, malta? Tudo bem? Bem-vindos a mais um episódio de Kingdom Come Deliverance. Vamos começar.
What did I do to you? I talked to that woman from the pond.
I noticed. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Bergov is about to leave the castle.
Sacra! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down, let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Lord Semine, from the local noble family, is getting married. He's marrying the local bailiff's daughter. It's going to be a big event.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like Von Bergov will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry.
Vamos infiltrar-nos
So all
no
we have to do is
casamento.
get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
I'll come up with something.
I hope so. You can't expect me to do the thinking for both of us all the time. We'll ask the locals and see.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper,
I noticed that too.
and we can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Vai acabar
It'll be
rápido,
done in
pá.
a jiffy. Don't worry.
That's not the point, Henry. People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar. As if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Oh!
You know, sir, not everyone is born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Ordinary people have to work their whole lives. So you should be able to manage it too. At least for one day.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
Ia bem. Então, onde é que ele se encaixa? Você aprendeu a Igreja Católica, feudalismo e nobreza. Depois podemos ir ver para termos assim uma cultura geral. Yeah, e onde é que ele se encaixa?
So, which do I belong to?
Good question. Before I'd have said you were a peasant, but it turned out that you're a noble's bastard. And you're pretty handy with a sword.
Também já teve no
And you've even
mosteiro.
been
Yeah.
in a monastery.
I'd rather forget about that.
You're a bit of everything. But if you get your hands dirty with labour, it wouldn't be such an offence against divine order as in my case. Pure blood, noble status and that.
Sangue
In
puro.
short, be so kind as to get to work. I promise I'll
Ei,
make
é
it
bem.
up to you.
Vai-lhe dar uma terra, tem que ser. Tá bem, vai. Ele não quer trabalhar, vamos nós.
But you could give me a hand. It wouldn't do you any harm.
Ah, stop whining. You can manage. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll scratch your back later.
How? By giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay
Ei,
no
é
mind.
bem, somos por
How
aí.
generous of you, Lord Capon.
I know, my dear Henry, such is my nature.
Então, onde é que estão os sacos?
A large beer for... Come up with a plan to take her away. Where is the bloody keeper?
Oof! That isn't half heavy.
E agora é meter lá dentro, né? Por aqui. É aqui, é aqui. Em cima das paletes. Ih, só faltam 4. Fogo, oh Hans, isto também era só um trabalhinho rápido, bolas.
You could say that. They found a dead body stuck in the wheel on Sunday.
You're kidding. Who was it?
Some vagabond.
God rest his soul.
And get this, Miller Boschka says he was in the water at least a week. judging by the
Moleiro.
state of
Aqui
it.
também há moleiros.
So what?
Que são os gajos do crime, vá.
But the river there.
Têm sempre negócios obscuros.
And that's not all. The dead man had a
You want proof?
God
Ah.
bless.
Listen to this. I heard you're in need of money, friend.
Oi, true
Oi?
enough.
Quem me está a oferecer dinheiro?
Tithe
Is that
and
supposed
give
to be
something to the
laughing?
church for my father's requiem mass.
Isn't it a bit early for that? It ages till St. Wenceslas Day, and they don't collect tithes before then. What did you say? Say it again.
It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
Pois, o Hans agora pensa que não insulta os nossos companheiros mortos, estou a ler você.
You're the fool here.
E bora começar a
You're gonna
porrada.
start as well?
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a
O
word
gajo
you're
não sabe que está a
saying.
falar com o
A
comandante
weed like you,
dos
surviving a fight
emboscados.
against bandits, even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Oh, you want to come to the wedding, do you? Huh. I'll give you a piece of advice, pal. If you can make yourself useful for the blacksmith or the miller, you'll get to the wedding. You'll see the glorious occasion, at least from a distance. And you can stop spouting your pathetic lies.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. La, 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 la. You're starting to bore me. You and your silly made-up name.
No apology then.
Ele nem
It looks
sequer
like I'm
sabe que
going to have
existe
to
uma
teach you a
Parkstein.
lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
There's no point in this. Let's leave.
I'd do what your pal says if I were you. Get lost before something happens to you.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me. Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
Bora, vamos andar a porrada.
I'll show you.
Hey! Now you fucked up.
Bad luck.
Conversar.
Let him have it.
Wanker.
Vais levar uma sova. Tens que desalinhar.
You shouldn't have fucked with us, you bastard! I'll show you how a real knight fights. Good. Got you.
Hey, get him. Yeah.
Bora, ataca-me.
Spare him. Nice hit.
That won't work on me.
Toma. Toma, este já foi.
This is unbelievable.
Ih, dois. Ouça. Fogo.
Yeah. Don't spare him. Take that fucker
Tem que
out.
alinhar, senão.
Fucked up.
That's madman. Why did he do it?
Show
That won't
your.
work on me. Nice hit.
Hey, get him.
You won't be able to take another one like that.
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds.
Que tu dá porrada. Ai.
Bastards! This will cost you dearly.
Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse.
What?
You behave like a spoilt brat.
How dare you speak?
You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle. But no, not his lordship.
You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since, and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess.
Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it?
Fuck off!
Shut up. Or you'll get a whipping too.
Caraças, meu. Continua a piorar.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm the only one of us with any sense. I'm not the one who acts like a spoiled child.
Spoiled child! You're in danger of crossing the line, Henry. Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that?
What? Who started quarrelling with the locals in their tavern? We should have made ourselves scarce. None of that would have happened.
Oh, aye. Typical you, running away like a coward. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Hey, let's just stop all this arguing. It'll just make things worse.
Fuck you. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your
E o gajo está
pontificating.
passado.
You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life.
Caraças da mosca.
You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
Jurar fazer as pazes.
Lost
Ficar
for
em
words,
silêncio.
are you? All right. Have it your way. We really have nothing more to say to each other.
Parecem crianças. Na manhã seguinte. Ia, coitados.
Right, ladies. time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Pois isto agora deve ser o dia do casamento.
Otto,
Hey! Go!
Ai, o caraças.
oh shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do?
You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Bergov at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Grande maluco.
If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
Crime e reputação. Pronto, agora começa. Cada ação tem as suas consequências. Se você cometer crimes, o mundo e as pessoas ao seu redor reagirão a eles. O que é o crime? Tudo aquilo que o cristão honesto deve evitar é considerado crime. Não se deve matar inocentes, roubar, invadir a casa dos outros, ferir pessoas ou animais domésticos e perturbar as suas vidas pacíficas. Consequências do crime: se alguém o pegar cometendo um crime, a pessoa o denunciará aos guardas ou o confrontará. Isto já nós sabemos. Reputação afeta como as pessoas o tratam. Quem gosta de você o cumprimentará com gentileza e os comerciantes poderão até lhe dar descontos. Por outro lado, quem o odeia pode nem sequer querer falar com você. Você pode melhorar a sua reputação realizando tarefas, pode piorá-la cometendo crimes e agindo de forma desonesta. Muito bem. Alerta: se houver muito crime numa área, o povo vai ficar mais vigilante e armar-se. E os guardas chamarão reforço. Ok. Quando as coisas se acalmarem, tudo retomará ao normal.
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll
Henry.
find muck without you, you stuck-up lord of Perkstein.
Ok, agora temos
Over here.
Esta
Aye,
conheces?
You're in the right place. Over here.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh.
Então,
For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Barely. Look at me. They just let me out of the pillory. Nobody wants anything to do with me. And I don't even know what hill that is over there.
Well, that there hill is Slatego. And you pull yourself together. Like Tomcat says, nothing's impossible. And bruises build character.
quem é que é o gatorro?
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Ok.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower.
Pode ter
That
trabalho.
is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons. But if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
Vá falar com o gato. Agora, também já vou pedir ajuda. Yeah.
I'm practically naked. Nobody's going to want to even talk to me like this.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin? A monk's robe? Or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
Epá, agora sei lá. Prefiro não me destacar
I
tanto.
prefer something a little more ordinary. I'd like to blend in with the locals and not attract attention.
After what you did here with that friend of yours, even the deaf and blind would immediately recognise you. But between the two of us,
Fracasso, meu.
it's easy enough to scrounge up a shirt and trousers if you know where to look.
Ok. Portanto, vamos para o
This'll come in
crime.
handy.
Just don't get yourself caught again.
É giro porque calhou-nos neste. Ficamos numa de. Podemos seguir qualquer caminho, o que é ótimo. Enquanto no primeiro começamos numa de. O Henry quer se vingar, quer saber o que é que se passou com os pais, quer saber quem matou. E então leva-nos para um caminho mais justo, mais a direito. Este aqui calhamos numa sandbox. O que é fixe, agora podemos ser quem nós quisermos. Não nos sentimos aquela pressão para ser daquela certa maneira. Pá, eu preciso vestir uma
I
coisa,
really
não?
need something to wear.
I can see that. Save up for something or use those lockpicks. Either way, I can't help you anymore.
E dinheiro?
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like
Não,
you.
vais roubar.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Preciso de um cavalo? Será que existe? 5
I could use
groschen.
a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
E
Do you
dormir?
know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
Ok, agora como é que nós
My
fazemos para ir
main
ao
concern
casamento?
is getting to that wedding in Semin. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have?
A irmã com... Ai,
Have the
o quê?
preparations
Não.
already
Meu
begun?
Deus.
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished, and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in.
Ok. E como é que te chamas?
Hey, you.
Posso saber? Que raio de
What's your name,
bicho.
anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
Então... Estás a ir onde?
Where are you headed? If you're only passing through here.
For work. To the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
E tu vais para que
You said
cidade?
you're going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long. Just until I find a way to make a living.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
E porquê é que estás a
Why
ajudar,
exactly
yeah?
are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in
Abara,
times
fixe.
like that.
You're something like a wanderer.
No, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Ok, a malta aqui não gosta dos nómadas.
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Porquê que eu perdi reputação?
Oh
What the
well,
fuck? Porquê que eu perdi
it was
reputação?
nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage.
Começar do zero
Till
mesmo,
we
sem
meet
roupa, sem
again.
nada. Um típico RPG clássico. Viajar. Ah, oi. Ah, pera, isto será que dá para selecionar? Não. É as legendas só. Portanto, temos aqui o quê? Troskovitz. Brasão do Leão. Informação importante. Ponto de interesse. Yeah, ok. Temos que ir ali, né? E isto aqui? Ajuda do moleiro. Parece-me fixe. Ok, temos muita coisa. Se calhar vou ver se arranjo roupa, pá. Brasão do Leão. Informante de missões. Tenho que arranjar roupa. Eu tenho roupa, bolas. Mas vamos roubar aí umas cenas. Brasão do Leão. Aqui é o escriba. Vou ser apanhado. Vá lá, ninguém viu.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
Bolas.
As the local scribe, you know a lot of things, right?
I'd say so. In this province, not a squirrel farts without my knowing.
Right. So, if I needed to get something, you'd certainly be able to tell me where, right?
Depends on what you're looking for. Don't involve me with anything dishonorable.
No, don't worry. I'm just looking for some armor.
Armor? Well, unless you want to join von Burgau's retinue, I don't think I can help you. But try Radovan, the blacksmith in Takhov. He might at least sell you an iron helmet.
You don't know of anything better?
Aha! So, the good man is a connoisseur, eh? And how would Prince Brunswick's armor suit you?
Whose armor?
Oh, it's just a local legend.
Clinton.
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
E pá, e depois agora qual é que eu escolho? Se calhar escolha melhor, né? Não acho, não, isto não parece um cavaleiro. Estou mais interessado na lenda. Como Ferreira.
That may be true. But even the finest armor has to pass through the hands of the master blacksmith who forged it. Well, I might be only an apprentice, but that's all the more reason I should take an interest in such things and learn something.
Aiming a bit high, starting with knightly armor, aren't you? How about starting with horseshoe nails, eh?
Excuse me?
All right, no need to lose your temper, I'll tell you. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Quem é que
Who
foi
exactly was this
Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
Quanta
Man
coragem.
after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, so he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
E então ele. E o que
And what
aconteceu?
happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called No came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Ele ajudou o leão,
Well,
claro, para ter
considering
brasão.
what he later added to the coat of arms, I expect he helped the lion, eh?
Smart. Brunswick rushed to help the
Reputação
lion,
ganha.
and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup, so it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the
Claro.
lion took care of that.
O leão tocou. Então, e de onde veio essa
Where did
armadura?
Brunswick's armor come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Vortenberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyek of Vortenberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day, a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Vartenberg the name Lion and the armor of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad and died on his way back to his king. Specifically, while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armor back, but Lord Chenyek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it.
Então a
It
armadura
looked like
existe.
Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armor to the king.
Vendeu.
Chenyek was broke. How come?
Because of building his castle. Trusky may be impressive, but it's too expensive for a nobleman. Even the king had difficulty paying for such a castle.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armor, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armor. Lord Chenyek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armor here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight. Each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And do you know where I could find Brunswick's armor?
Yes, lad, if it even really exists. But I do have a little bit of advice for you. Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armor, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
Ui, vai, conta lá a cheirada.
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armor gleaming still.
Não me vem nada à cabeça. Acho que
The
sei, bora
crone
lá.
and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Bloody hell. I think I know where it is.
Sério?
Really? Well, seems you've got something between your ears then, lad. And you know what? I've got something else for you. Sir
Yeah,
George,
no.
who previously owned the armor, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too. But he died of the plague before he
Macho.
could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armor, but this is certainly true because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it as a keepsake. And now go.
Ok. Ok, pessoal. Vamos continuar no próximo episódio à procura desta armadura. Quem teve desse lado, muito obrigado. Espero que estejam a gostar. Já sabem, continuem a apoiar o canal, clicando nesse botão de like, subscrevendo, inscrevendo-se e partilhando com os vossos amigos. Até à próxima!